Okay, not how I intended to start off the stream as, but welcome back, everyone. Unlike the other day, we are going to be playing a bit of Wu Chang on NG Plus. Uh, and we are, I do believe, technically at where a lot of people feel like the first difficult boss of the game is at, which is Captain Honglan. Uh, right now, I'm once again challenging myself to do a no-hit run for this fight, which might be a lot easier than you think, because we are very overpowered in NG plus, like extremely overpowered, especially if you know the weaknesses of the bosses. So what I expect to happen here is that if I manage to knock down Honglan with our square attack, assuming I can land it, or even just get a backstab, I can probably just send her into phase two almost immediately, or maybe even kill her. We'll see. We'll see. I'm wondering if I should have kept the Honglan glamour on, because it does make it a whole lot more fun when they have the same costumes. I do like this costume though, but it is not ideal for this boss fight. You can pretty much just two-shot me with this equipment. Well, that was a opportunity for us there. Yeah, as I was saying, completely expected since we know the her weakness. And on that point, Wuchang sort of loses consciousness. I swear that voiceover is in Chinese, not Japanese. I almost say Japanese. It's Chinese. Just the intonation of the character name. That said, even the English voiceovers for this game have been like, it felt like they've been like very careful to make sure they're saying the names as intended. Because I remember when Tao Chin introduces his name, like if you were a normal English speaker, you might be like Tao Chin and just normal Tao Chin, right? No strong emphasis on the chi sound, but the voice actor made it a point to emphasize it with from the way he said it. It sounded like very Chinese or like Tao Chin. I and hopefully I don't sound like it doesn't sound like I'm insulting anyone, but point stands. I wish I could show it to you all, but unfortunately we have sort of met all the NPCs we can in this area. Yep, Chuan Youngze sort of just acting all friendly, even though we kind of know that he's pretty much the one who's taking advantage of all the chaos that's happening in the region. I'm gonna run quickly back to our starting place because I want to check and see whether anything has happened. Hey Yozai, are we below? And we probably have some unique dialogue with him. But Mecha shoot. Interesting. I could have sworn I picked that item up, so seeing it here a second time is kind of surprising. The two brothers have left now, and if we go down the stairs, I'm sure we could find uh, that girl over there and Hey Yosai over here. Not quite. Yeah, this is your confirmation that if you weren't sure of who to trust or whether you can trust Xuan Yangze, that's pretty much the game just letting you know that, hey, if you trust that guy, you're going to have a bad time. That is the most accurate way of putting it. And over here we have uh, Yujia. Well, not exactly. Jiang Xianzhong. It's interesting that Yujia sort of tells us to not go to the palace because we know later on that she's in league with Honglan. Right. She's pretty much just directing Honglan to get the chisel for her because it's her intention to revive the emperor. The relic is secured, but Cloudspire has fallen to the rebels. The situation is dire. Though Duke Liu holds the line, their assault persists. Uncertain looms. I've taken my forces to the Roman temple side gate. We will coordinate from within. And this is sort of stealth hinting that, hey, Honglan is in contact with Yuxia over here. So, yeah, even I could say that Yuxia is sort of the good person here, but at the end of the day, everyone is sort of trying to do their own thing with Hei and Feng or Fang, who we'll meet later on, being the only people who are technically on our side, right? Also, I'm not sure what you mean by he has a sign on his head. This character is pretty much telling us that the doctor is suspicious. And if you got the bad ending from trusting the doctor, then I think it's sort of on you at that point. Though I believe I've seen some talk that you can get the bad ending regardless of whether you trusted the doctor or not if you treated the NPCs in a certain way too. Qianhu, not saying anything as usual. And the kid over here has nothing to say too, I believe. Let me check the teleport menu. We Neon Suichong seems to be here. Oh yeah, Neon should be near the gate. He'll be giving us an item as we proceed to Cloudspire. Like letting us know that, hey, yeah, you're gonna freeze in this place, just wear it and eat this. Just getting that extra upgrade item from that NPC. I'm gonna run back quickly up here and actually talk to the kid to see. I don't think he has any different dialogue, but let's just see, right? Yeah, he has almost the same thing to say as before. If we head over here, we'll find Nian sort of trying to figure out how to get to Cloudspire, even though the door's locked. And we can help him out because we have the key. I don't think you need skill to use a key, Nian. Maybe we meet again soon. I'm kind of disappointed that the NPCs don't react to your emotes right, because I was half expecting them to react to them in a very Bloodborne manner of sorts, right? Because in Bloodborne, the doll will sort of react to some of the emotes you do, some of them, not all of them, mind you. For most, she'll just cock your head. For most, she'll just cock her head in confusion. The change in intonation over there. Yeah, also a bit more context here. We know who the madam is now, right? Previously, when we went there the first time, there was just no idea what's happening. It almost feels like that's a follow-up dialogue to something else. Like, now get lost. Like he said something and is then telling us to get lost. No, I haven't been here in ages. Another upgrade item. Or just running over the swords and everything. Yeah, I don't think we've been into this cave in ages, all right? This is one of the first few areas you go to. And I have like a sparse recollection of anything happening here. Steamed bunny bun. You can sort of see this door over there, letting you know that hey, there's a door with a secret over here. It's a dead end. I'm honestly just checking the left to make sure there aren't any enemies which are gonna jump us. Sapphire Lotus Seed. There is an enemy here though, which you can very funnily see. Master Tai Chi to grasp the primordial deity's wisdom. Yeah, this is another one of those emote spots where if you do the right emote, you get an upgrade material. And honestly, the game just isn't really trying to hide what it's which you need to use here. It's very obvious. I kind of wish they made it more of a puzzle, right? So it feels more rewarding to actually figure it out. Though I guess some players might just feel like, okay, the trial and error method of getting that upgrade material is not as fun. In a lot of ways, right? In a lot of ways, Wu Chang is like really, really friendly. You sort of missed a very fun match, Kink. See, I started the stream by saying that, hey, uh, Since we know the weakness of the boss, I sort of think we can do a no hit like very easily just because of the damage we can do. And I pretty much just slammed through her HP bar while she was on the floor from a backstab. She didn't even have a chance to retaliate. That's how much this game favors putting you into a position of power. Yeah, a bunch of thieves over there. Bottom up, slads. Wow, okay, you are doing a lot of damage in this gear. I do like the spinning kick move. It's a bit of a shame that it's only the second move that has like really good resistances. This is surprisingly weak. I don't know why, but I feel it's not because of that. It's because of this. And my equipment right now is actually gonna increase the amount of damage I take, and I have that on both of these. Like this here, it greatly increases the power of stab attacks. After gaining Scared Moon Might, you sort of get your next move. Come on, just scroll through, will you? But yeah, it's because of this. This increases your damage as well, but also increases the damage taken. We gotta switch that out here. And I'm gonna replace it with the healing pendant, because that's always helpful. If you can sort of use it. Just getting some extra health. We were going for a complete uh, DPS build, so yes. Should be another trap around here too, somewhere, I feel like. Oh, it's that guy. He's a red eye enemy, so yeah. Bit of an annoying one too. Oh, he would be annoying if he weren't so strong. Yeah, ages. Ages since I come down here. I could have sworn there was another path here too that actually led back up. And I feel like I just missed it somehow. So you know what? I'm gonna just do a quick run back through my usual. I'm not sure whether I'm going the right way without exploring the rest of the paths mentality affecting me here, but was it just this? Hmm. Oh, this lift actually took longer than the emote. Usually, I've noticed that many of the elevators in this game are tied to as long as the animation of Tai Chi and water dance. And for this one, that was not the case. Come to think of it, there isn't any paths here, too, all things considered. Like that little area is a dead end. And there isn't any lift on the top. Yeah, okay, never mind. The only other path here is through the red door, and I do believe we might have missed that one. Or we can get it later if we answer the bridal door correctly. But we're not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna try and answer the wrong one, just so we see what happens next. With the patch, I think the elevators actually come down a lot faster than they go up when Wu-Chang's on it. Yeah, that speed is a lot faster than when you are actually using it. Because I remember this elevator ride being like extremely, extremely long. And welcome to Hills Watch, everyone. Yeah, this is the door that we can take to get an item behind there, and I do believe that item is the bridal set, which we sort of have. Yeah, I remember doing the quest for this NPC too, and unfortunately, there is no happy ending to this quest. I'm curious as to what would happen if you don't give her the item she's asking for, but I feel like she's gonna kill herself either way. Delusion grips, conviction burns, greed and folly take their turns. Breathless wills pierce through the night, lifeless swarms devoid of light. Follow the cause of destiny, challenge the threads of fate. Okay, I'll be honest, I don't remember which one is the correct answer here. I think it was follow the course of destiny is the good one, and challenge the threads of fate is the wrong one. No, it's the right one. Oh no, I kind of wanted to get the wrong one. Oh well, I guess I can always do it on another playthrough. But yeah, this allows you to get to this little area, which you can see from the other side, and get the bridal set. Something to remember. Challenge the course of fate is the correct answer. Oh, she wasn't here on our last playthrough. Yeah. Unlike in the previous playthrough where we didn't give her the cursed jump dumpling, in this one, since we gave it to her, she's sort of lucid and cognizant of the fact that we're not her son. And she seems to be on his trail without quite knowing. And yes, there is no save reset. It's a Souls game, right? It auto saves the moment you do the door. See, that's one door I wouldn't have mind losing because that door is has an item that we already have, and just getting it for a second time doesn't really add anything to it. The other doors I'm a bit mixed on getting because they usually have like benediction stones, which are actually useful, just of a higher grade. And this is the first time you sort of meet the exploding enemies, and you can kind of trap this guy in the rock over here. I say kind of, but I also feel like that was the intended way for design here. Like the devs giving you one chance to notice that, hey, these guys explode when they get a little too close. And this path, this is where I sort of messed up my first run, right? If you go down this path, you'll end up in an alternative area called the Avian Marsh. And the Avian Marsh is not a place you kind of want to go to so early on. Because if you go and defeat the boss over there, it sort of messes up some of the NPC quest lines. So I'm going to avoid the cave for now. I heard a little jingling. No, not the Smoldering Lake one. The Smoldering Lake one is the final area of the game. Oh, so you kind of need to go back and take a look at the Smoldering Lake. It really is not the same vibe. Topaz Lotus Seed. That is something I did not use. Topaz Lotus Seed. What do you do? Elliot's Poisberg. I don't even know an enemy which used this against me. Maybe a boss? You're generalizing a little too much here. You could say if you put it that way, you could say that hey, this game has a stamina system. This game has mooks that attack you and that you can kill very easily, right? See, I'm not only I think I mentioned it that day too. I'm talking about the general aesthetic of the place, and if you consider both the aesthetic of the place and the gimmicks there, it's not only the creature that's shooting at you from a distance. It has other traps too, right? Oh, okay, we see an enemy right there. Can I hit you with the fire spell from over here? Doesn't do too much damage though. Oh, wow, okay. See, this is what happens when you get overconfident. Like, if you like really look at the smoldering lake, you see it has like a very different vibe. You know what? I'm gonna pull up. Let's see, I'm just gonna check since you keep mentioning smoldering lake, and I don't feel like smoldering lake is like that this area at all. Smoldering lake also did not have smaller enemies that are too annoying. The problem with the shoot from a distance large thing too is that uh you see it's not the only place in a Souls games that is just does that, right? Because at the very start of Dark Souls 3, you have that one area where you have to give a white birch branch to a giant to stop them from shooting at you. Then there's also an Orlando in Dark Souls 1 where you go there and the Black Knights are shooting at you with like huge arrows from a distance too. So the concept of being shot at is not exactly a new thing in a Souls game. Oh wow, I completely forgot my madness was maxed out. On a bit of a bad spot over here. Oh, okay, that was an intense battle. I don't think I've ever timed the dual blades as well as I timed it there, right? Uh, the mechanic for the dual blades you see is that if you attack at the same time the enemy attacks, it actually sort of works as a deflect, but only for certain attacks, right? Like one, two, and three doesn't have any deflect, but one, two, three, four, five, and six actually do have deflect. So we want to time those together, and then the charge attack and the whirling spin all have deflects. That was like a very intense battle. I was not expecting to run into our demon there. Also, kind of surprised you haven't touched one. A lot of people still think like the first two games are like really, really good. Like I know personally, I still like Demon Souls the best because again, it's very puzzle based and not completely based on difficulty. I have not played two because two came out around the time I was doing exams for uni. Three I have played, and that's why I don't quite feel like it's the case with that Smoldering Lake is the same as that area. At the very least, how when you think of the entire last segment entirely as an area, right? How it winds up and everything, it's very different, right? Uh, the enemies that shoot at you from a distance, there are only two enemies, right? Uh, no, there are three enemies, and they're not even enemies. They're sort of like gimmicks that you can switch off with a lever, and those are only on the top half of that level. However, if you go to the lower half of that level, you have to deal with a corruption swamp and very tough enemies, all for exploration. And you sort of need to do that because you uncover a lot of the final pieces of the puzzle for Wuchang in that area just by doing that. Ah, you are, ow, tanky. It's just the overall thing, right? When I think of Smoldering Lake, the two things that come to mind for me are not only the shooting ballistas in the distance, but there are also worms popping out. And as a whole, that area is like very small, right? Because it's only leading to that one final demon that's still alive, the one you're sort of putting out of their misery, the final demon king or something. My memory fails me there. Also, isn't there like another area in Dark Souls 2 which has the same enemies shoot at you from a mechanic? If you mean Henri's quest, it's still the same area. It's just that he's sort of hidden underneath that you sort of have to fall down to. Yeah, because I remember people mentioning that they carried over a lot of things from Dark Souls 1, and the shooting from a distance gimmick is in there somewhere too. I think there's a key item here we can find somewhere that we can give to an NPC later on. And if you walked forward a little too much, you sort of see a bunch of enemies just popping out of the woodwork. Yeah, 2 is one of those games on my list that I also need to sort of go back and finish. So if you're doing a run on 2, just let me know and I can join you. But you gotta kind of let me know beforehand because if I'm getting it, you know that I'll usually get it into uh, on console. But if you are getting it, I can get it on PC and we can do some fun co-op stuff. Because I, yeah, you know what? I might just get it on PC too. Because Digital Foundry sort of put up a video where a modder implemented a new lighting engine into that game, and it looks very, very nice. I don't think I shared that with you guys. But if you go to Digital Foundry stage and sort of look up Dark Souls 2 light mod, you can find it. It feels like a night and day difference. Almost Wu Chang levels of lighting here, right? Although maybe Wu Chang is not exactly the best comparison considering it has a lot of PC performance issues. I'll be honest, I have almost never grinded for a level in any Souls game, right? I think you know you can kind of figure out my mentality. My mentality is uh, keep trying until you eventually succeed. Is that one meme right? If it bleeds, you can kill it. Here is where I believe we'll find the key item for one NPC quest. Now, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, even Bloodborne. Dark Souls 3, I grinded a bit, but not for what you might think. Uh, you need certain items to actually platinum Dark Souls 3. So instead of trying to do it by going online and defeating other people, what I did was just grind one mob, which drops the item we need, and so that I could get it for the platinum trophy. Because then you can sort of hand it over to the Covenant leader and get the item that you are required to get. But yeah, upon it is written a short poem about camellias in spring. Being unable to say goodbye to her father, it was the only thing the girl could do to leave this token behind. This is something we can give to an NPC in the Cloudspire village. Surprisingly, one of the few times where you can actually find the quest item before you. Well, that's not true, right? I found Hey Ozai's pack before we met him and he needed it too. Also, one of the more annoying enemies right here. Don't think we can get a backstab on him unless we were like really fast. He's not even with his back. A very aggressive enemy. How? I should not have tried to dodge through it. And that is a despair mechanic. Okay, you are nasty. Surprisingly good resistance against this fellow. I'm not getting the timing for the dodge. But as you can see, he's like very open to backstabs. And once he's down, that's pretty much it for him. Steamed bunny bun and a coral bracelet. This is the item that we have to give to that one lady at the bridge. It's her husband's, I believe. A type of jewelry women often wear on their wrists. A bracelet made of corals that symbolize peace. Times of chaos brings oppression and strife, and no amount of jewelry can appease the dead. Yeah, this is something that she gave her husband, I think. Or rather, the husband gave to her, and she gave it back. And that guy is pretty much just going around harvesting the bodies. You are stuck in that corner, huh? Okay. At this point, we can sort of run back to the lady at the bridge and give her the bracelet. Although I'm wondering if there's an option to actually not give it to her. And if I do not give it to her, what happens then? Like, is the quest paused indefinitely? All things that we sort of need to find out. That's the funny part about Soul's Quest, right? You're never sure what's going to happen. Okay, I'm not going to give it to her this run. See what happens. See that whether after a while she just dies or run away. Because if she hides, then it's actually the better thing to do. She'll survive. If I give the bracelet to her, she'll actually end up sort of falling into despair and dying. It's very much in the nature of Souls games to never have a good ending for their NPCs, but you kind of wish that they'd had some good endings, don't you? And if we head over here, we'll find Neon, who's the guy who's actually been ransacked and stolen from. Well, we gotta give him credit for being positive and all his stuff was stolen. Not that he's telling us the truth about what happened, but still. These two NPCs making certain that you have items that actually heal frostbite before you enter Cloudspire, in case you also used the ones that were given to you by Nyan Saitong. And these two, I believe, are also two NPCs whose quest lines must have gotten cut short because we went to the Avian Marsh first on our first playthrough. I don't remember meeting Sun over here a second time. We met Li Tuango later, but only for one other time. After that, he pretty much just disappeared. Now, I thought I'd actually feel like I'd have an easy time on those enemies. Once you realize that they're like very open to being backstabbed, it's a bit of a different adventure. Oh, here we have Neon's pack, which we can return. I believe this is where his quest might actually branch off for a second time, because this is the point where we can sort of question whether he's cut out to be a warrior or not, right? Because you can confront him with actually sort of fighting Ainenchi, or you can just hand over the pack quietly. Last time I confronted him, and I believe that might have been the start of him spiraling to despair, but hey, who knows? Yeah, we're gonna remain silent this time, like, keep his confidence. Not that we're fueled by any of that. Let me also change to Neon's equipment here, because I feel like it's a bit warmer, right? And it has considerably better frostbite defense than anything else we have right now. It is surprisingly weak against corruption. I'm gonna equip some spicy soup over here. The one item that we use extensively to ward off debuffs. Might not be too required on this run though. Wugong over here. Well, so he says, but we sort of have everything we can buy from him other than these. Well, you can actually buy a lot of divine seals. I didn't even know you stopped that much. A bit of an ugly fight over there, but it turned out fine. The problem with playing on NG Plus is, again, you're like very, very overpowered. So even if you make mistakes, you aren't punished too much for it. Don't think, other than the soul grass, there was anything over there, right? Yep. This is item from the enemy we killed. Whoa, whoa. He attacked me. Not she. He attacked me so hard I actually fell to the lower ledge. Not much commentary to give here, to be honest. We already sort of know the traps and everything. I guess the one thing you can do is that it's pretty much just it's a bit easier now, all things considered, compared to before. You can sort of drag this guy over here. Oh, he didn't get the poise break here. Never mind. That's what you get when you try to style on enemies, everyone. Well, it would be kind of fun if you could completely negate that combo with parries, right? With that enemy, though, the idea is that it's just a lot easier for you to just go and kill them with the backstab. All right, I forgot about this. We can talk to Juan Jena over here. So it's at this point that Juan Jena sort of gives us that one last tome that she has. Contains some of Zhenwu Temple's research on red mercury, delving into its medicinal properties, pharmacology, and methods for crafting elixirs using small, control amounts of the substance. This is sort of the hint that, hey, even if you ingest red mercury, you're sort of gonna become a monster unless you control the amounts of red mercury you're putting in there. And I half suspect that the person that she's giving this to, Lee, actually sort of goaded the rebels into attacking Zhenwu Temple just so that he could get his hands on this tome and get the recipe for himself. It's never quite clear, but the implication is sort of there. And a suspicious budding red mercury item in the back there, sort of indicating that, hey, yes, even that recovery pill that you got from her is likely one of those made from using red mercury, just slight red mercury. The range on that spell is a bit bigger than I remember it being. Oh, oh wow. The mine actually hit us too. Welcome back. No, I am not slowed. This area will slowly infect you with frostbite, but I'm kind of ignoring it because it doesn't really matter. What frostbite does to you is that it reduces your stamina by half, but it kind of doesn't matter since we're so overpowered right now that even without the stamina buff, we'll be probably okay. Yeah, as you can see, that raises my stamina by half. It doesn't do anything else other than that. So you can pretty much just ignore it if you are so inclined. But the game is kind of friendly in the sense that it gives you an item that very generously prevents the status from being inflicted upon you for a very, very long time. I'm just not using it. That's all. Just making sure we don't miss any NPCs by searching everywhere as we go. Shank, obliterate rejuvenation. There's a little ladder over here. I didn't know this ladder was there. But it kind of doesn't matter since we already explored. I think I grabbed the aggro from those enemies though. The one thing I can say with certainty, however, is that they reduced the number of traps in this area because previously this whole area was littered with mines, right? So you had to be like really, really careful while you're running through to not get hit by those. But now it feels like there's considerably less around. Now, here is a fun little area, right? So you can get a backstab on that enemy over there, but only if you prevent these guys from causing a ruckus, which is not too easy, all things considered. But now you can grab this guy over to the mines. Oh, he is actually going around them. Interesting. You don't need to do it. It's just kind of funny. Oh, he activated the second mine. Yeah, kind of funny like that. Also, I sort of love whoever voiced that enemy. Like he has the most devious cackle when he dies. Surprisingly, a little room you can explore. Oh, and an NPC is here. I mean, I know it wasn't you, that's for sure. Oh, interesting. I'm not entirely sure what to do with the quest here, because we didn't get this last time. I came to this house and was sort of wondering why it was so empty too. And now we get the explanation, right? Because this NPC was supposed to move over here. And she gave us a bamboo missive. A nigh impenetrable fortress destroyed by a single secret missive to lower the drawbridge from within. When flames light the three beacons, doom shelters upon this tree. Wait a minute, I got this bamboo missive even without sending her here. Yeah, but the thing is, she's sort of mistaking that the general is her son. The general is not her son. The general is a boss that we have to fight eventually. You're just okay. You're never mind. I thought you were pretending, but apparently you're dead. Get our one extra level of point. Well, three because we got them from some upgrade enemies. Do I still want to go feathering? You know what? Let's increase our health pots back up because we lowered those to get some points. And yeah, if you look over there, this is sort of indicating that hey, yes, you kind of need to climb the tower and burn this place to make it safe. And we almost stepped on that landmine because if you don't, these guys will just endlessly spawn, which is not fun, all things considered. An NPC we can talk to. Not that he gives us much of anything to go on. Another interesting design decision on the end of the devs, right? Most Souls games do not have NPCs too much explaining the situation that's happening around. Can you knock it off? And this NPC over here sort of giving us a clue that, hey, somebody stole something from a dead body. And we kind of know what it is. It's that old woman who stole it. Oh, you. Ugh. We stole the missive, letting people know that, hey, if you light up all three beacons, they're going to lower the bridge and come attack. You know, last time I did light up all three beacons, but I didn't feel like it made much of a significant difference. But we had sort of broken the chest plane there the by going the wrong way first. And yeah, you can't reach that annoying archer up there. There's another path to it, to him, that we have to find for a quest later on. Not at the moment, but later on. Honestly, kind of fun to play the game now that you know where you need to go, even if I'm not too familiar with where the enemy placements are. I know there's an archer over here and a guy in this shack who will try to stop us from going up the ladder. And that guy just staring at us. You know I'm coming for you. Do you not even see me? Can I? So, oh, you did see me. Okay, never mind. Well, what a tumble. There's really no reason to come up here other than to get rid of that one archer. Oh, and maybe get this item. Some fire lotus seeds. What is he doing? Oh, I got hit on the follow up. I know, we don't call that the blade blade. We call that the spin to win. Every axe in every game seems to have it. And even we can do it if we use the axe. Yeah. With the changes with in the patch, and because we are on NG+1, it has become a very, very different game. It's very chill in a sense. Oh, the White Elder is here. Yeah, I didn't see him here previously too. No, I'll get to it after this. Okay, first things first. Now that we know this is Xiao Yun from the Three Kingdoms period, it sort of makes sense why he's being played by Visions. It's similar to how Wu Chang sees her inner demons now and then, right? Because she's using the chisel, now and then her own inner demons are coming back to haunt her. In Wu Chang's case, she's seeing the demons talking about bringing back Bai Yu. In Zhao Yun's case, he seems to be reliving the days, his glory days, right? And overall, King, the game itself is like very easy. Like in terms of difficulty, I'd place this like right above Demon Souls. It's very, very player friendly, and it's gotten even easier with the patch. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna go pick up this treasure and light the beacon. So far, other than Honglan during our first playthrough, I didn't, and the bow sorcerer, right? I didn't feel like any other boss was overly challenging. And a huge part of that is because you can sort of meta game the whole thing by changing your equipment at any time, since Wuchang allows you to respec at any time, right? Make sure we get the shortcut because there is a chance that these guys might just make me fall off. Or they could fall off. I think the guard fell, right? Yeah, he must have fallen down. Because I feel like I remember what's happening here is that two forces are fighting over there. Cloudspire is over there, and the Imperial Guard are protecting Cloudspire. The rebels are entrenched here, and the rebels and the guards are sort of fighting against each other, right? So if you look over there, you see a beacon tower and another beacon tower somewhere else around here. Is it that one? Oh, yeah, it is that one. So the idea is that what I think what's communicated to the people in the palace over there is that to lower the bridge only when both beacons are lit. So you have to sort of light both of them up to let people know that, hey, yeah, it's safe to cross. The funny part is that for each of the towers, it's sort of a different situation, right? On this tower, the rebel and the Imperial Guard were fighting. I think on that tower, the rebels have actually won and are sort of just keeping a hold of that place. And over on the tower on this side, it's the Imperial Guard who have won. So if you go up that tower, there's only an Imperial soldier waiting for you up there. A bit of storytelling in right away. And what do you mean I'm staking them? I have done no such thing, good sir. I have not staked anyone in this game just yet. I'm even using a sword so that we don't stake people. We just slice them instead. Yeah, as you can see, as long as this tower is active, these enemies will keep respawning endlessly, so kind of need to get on that like immediately. I'm merely taking advantage of the fact that there's a bit of chaos going on around there. Oh, wow, you actually managed to hit me with that. It's always a bit of a toss up as to whether you can avoid their. Where did you come from? As a whole, even though Neon's uh, garb is like really good, it's very weak against corruption. It is good against frost, though, by the feel of it. This was just a dead end, huh? Not a dead end, more or less a trap. Just gonna check what's there. Yeah, if you try to take that item, this enemy will explode in your face and drop you from the tower. I believe there's another exploding enemy here somewhere. Always pays to sort of check before you go. Yeah, yeah, your brain's really not braining, and have a feeling it's because you haven't got enough sleep. You really need to get some proper rest. And yeah, if you look up here, it's the Imperial Guard who's here. And looking around, there seems to be like dead rebels, right? More or less letting you know that, hey, it's these guys who won over here. And he's a red-eyed enemy. I mean, he's actually quite dangerous. Oh, it was a martial skill. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna heal. Oh, you are tanky as heck. How did I kill you last time? I don't remember you being this tanky. What sort of weird experiment are you running on yourself by getting not enough sleep? In a way, it sort of explains why the Imperial Guard, despite having control of the beacon, did not light it up, because he was affected by feathering, and he completely forgot about his objective, I guess. But now we can navigate that little area safely since all the enemies will be burned. You must still your mind, my young Padawan. Find the sleep within you. A little shortcut for us to get back down. Did I take the treasure chest up there? I don't even remember. You can tell even I'm lacking in sleep when I can't remember whether I took a treasure chest just a few moments ago. What time is it anyway? Oh, it's almost 10:30. I should probably just call it and go to sleep, right? Tomorrow is a work day after all. And it's always a good idea to go fresh on a new week. I mean, why lie to her? Just let her know that you were playing music to go to sleep. I think this area has a demon of obsession somewhere. No, I'm not sure how much of your personal life you want to reveal on stream, but to be honest, I feel like you sort of need to be open about stuff like that. Never did figure out who that NPC was that was despairing at not having enough food and everything. Oh, it was you. Yeah, you were the one who gave me the ice frost spell. I believe he's one of the theater troupe. And somehow, oh, he was grieving this lady over here. Somehow the theater troupe made their way all the way here. And if we go further, we're gonna run into the inner demon. We might be able to draw into this little trap over here. And by coming up this way, we sort of managed to go around. And now we can sort of ambush these guys who are going to ambush us. Geronimo. Of course, they take like two cannonball shots into the face. And this guy takes three. I don't. I actually ran out of cannonballs. He's too close now. Oh, that was a pretty cool animation there. The little swordsman. I never noticed that before. And if you slowly head over here, you can find that one archer who's been shooting at us from a distance all this time. A very alert archer, apparently, because you can't sneak up on him. So yeah, I'd caution against letting people know your personal lives and situations too much on stream, by the way. I know that it's usually just me and you, but even then, I don't think it's a good idea to give those away, so to speak. Okay, yeah, this is another area that's gonna be sort of confusing if you come here first, right? But this is also another place where an NPC will be at later on. Last time I had to like search extensively to find her. And it was actually trying to find her that allowed me to find this little area because I completely missed this little alcove on my first run through the place until I started to try and find that NPC. He still thinks we're the collector. We sort of saved him from that rebel. The rebels and the snowfall people are two entirely different factions as well. Like there are factions among factions sort of exploiting the people around here. Oh yeah, I forgot. I kind of want to use the cannonball here too. I think the last enemy is a little too far away. Yeah. Oh, I'm out of points. I didn't even realize. Ow, calm down. Oh, not exactly, because with the case of the Hyuga main clan, it's the same clan, right? This is not the same clan. It's just that the Snowfall Palace is working with the rebels. That's all. There are three forces here. One is the Imperial Guard, the Ming Guard. The second is Snowfall Palace, which is the area that, yeah, that area over there, which is led by the Madam of the Night. And the third faction is the rebels, right? The rebels are actually going through this area now, but Snowfall Palace's people have been through here and sort of collected each and every piece of uh, food and women here. And there is a reason for that, and we sort of figure it out when we go into Cloud's Fire, the city proper, later, but not right now. Right now, it's just sort of a little mystery for us to puzzle out. And Snowfall Palace is actually using the rebels to sort of gain an edge over the Imperial Guard, right? Technically speaking, the Imperial Guard are protecting Snowfall Palace, but Snowfall Palace is going behind their back and making a deal with the Rebel Guard so that they can mine the red mercury, the magic stuff here that allows immortality, and sell it. Like they're sort of trying to profiteer off the situation. Oh, and in case you haven't realized, this is the area where the game sort of really lags behind. Oh, no worries. I was just explaining how this area works, how Snowfall Palace and everything connects. I was basically saying that it's not exactly like the Hyuga clan because with the Hyuga, it's it's the same clan, right? You are the difference in perspective is between in the clan itself, but that's not the case here. This is just three different factions that are sort of using themselves against each other. Technically speaking, Snowfall Palace is part of the dynasty, right? The Ming dynasty at the moment. But and so the Imperial Guard are sort of protecting them from the rebels. But Snowfall Palace actually has a deal with the rebels so that they can mine the red mercury, the magic stuff here, to sell and get an advantage. And we kind of figured that out much, much later. You dropped me a gear piece. Oh, this mercury, never mind. They are to be a bit of a difficult enemy down here. Let's take care of him though. He is a cannoneer, a bit of a unique enemy at this point of the game. But you can like very easily get a backstab on these guys. I remember having trouble with this fellow a lot the first time we came here. And he is protecting the weapon that I actually used against him. The twin bandits. Our last tower here. I could have sworn there was like a shortcut here that we can open up. Back to the main plaza where the shrine statue was at. And you want to kind of get rid of this guy because he's going to be shooting at you from a distance. Yeah, it definitely felt like there was a shrine shortcut around here. So I think it might be if you go up and then to the left here. Bamboozling. One of the few bamboozlings without an actual trap for us. Although I guess it might be a trap if you came from up this side. Like if you missed it and then came up that way, you have to run into the cannon fire. Yeah, here we go. Here's our shortcut to the shrine. I'm not gonna activate it though, just because we've already killed that one enemy on higher ground. If you go to the right of here, you'll come across the Imperial Guard boss. If you head to the left, you'll instead head to the rebel camp where the rebel leader is at. Oh, I don't have any points. I keep forgetting that. Still no points, you know. The last beacon that we need to light up, and a little emote point over here. Dance with grace. And you know what that means? Water dance. Let's just hope we don't fall off the cliff. You get a little upgrade point for doing that. Always appreciated. Yeah, in this game, you always want to be peeking around the corners because they love to trap you. Almost feel like I distinctly recall that enemy being there, which is why I stopped. And there's X guy over here. Unfortunately, your spin to win isn't too effective when I can do one of my own. And it's sort of guard against all your attacks at the same time. A little bit of storytelling going on here. Like he managed to drag his body up over here and then died, like he was trying to sound the alarm or something, but he didn't make it quite. And if you climb up this, last tower, you'll see that it is the rebels who actually have control of this tower. Interesting. I remember coming to this tower and thinking I couldn't light it up. So yes, last time I definitely broke something in the quest chain that made this tower already like defunct. And I think it might be because I defeated the rebel general before I activated the towers. And with that, we have all three beacons lit. What that entails, I'm not entirely sure. I think it lowers the bridge. Yeah, we didn't need to do this last time to lower the bridge because, again, kind of defeated the rebel general. Have a nice fall. I know you're there. Okay, this is also a bit of a change, right? Because previously, uh, the guard, I believe, was over here. And if you try to attack that guard, this fellow will sneak up behind you and attack you. I know. I actually got trapped by that one. Like, they got me with that one. So I remember it very clearly. Just getting hit by the axe and falling all the way down. But yeah, that's pretty much this area done, more or less. At least for tonight, right? I'm gonna head back to the shrine, level up Wuchang as much as I can, because being overpowered is kind of broken at the moment. And then we'll try to find our way inside the rebel camp, because I believe you can clear that out before heading over here. But I want to make sure we don't miss any quests, so I'm just going to run down to the shrine and check whether there are any NPCs we can talk to before we head over and fight the General of the South, who is not too difficult, to be honest, because he's very vulnerable to being staggered with counters. Just the Heals Watch lady, nobody else. And I think Wugong is at the Snowy Passage, so we can sell all of our picked up soul items to get some extra souls. If he'd talk to me. Because these give us a significant amount of points. Hopefully, to get one or more 2 points that makes us even crazier stronger. 4 points total. Allows us to unlock the final acupoint. Now we just got to put the stuff into stats. We could unlock a new skill, right? Uh, so one-handed sword into dual swords has been working out like surprisingly well. Surprisingly well. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for tonight. We made a significant amount of progress in NG Plus. We managed to beat Honglan, like really just beat the stuffing out of her. We managed to get to probably the end of Cloud's Fire. There's still the two bosses in the area that we have to contend with, but I think that's enough progress for one night. I'm going to call it early and head to bed so that we can be ready for tomorrow and a new week of, well, work and all. Good night, King, and good night, anyone else who's watching. Here's Wichang and me signing off.